So, welcome back to another episode of the Beyond the Playbook podcast. And I'm right here to discuss a sport which is one of the fastest team sports in the world. It sees players change every 30 seconds. The puck travels faster than an F1 car at top speed, and one minor deflection sometimes ends entire Olympic games. I'm talking about ice hockey, and before the Winter Olympics begin, here's everything you need to know to actually understand what we're watching. So, what is ice hockey? Ice hockey is basically a team sport played on ice between two teams of six players, where they try to score by hitting a small rubber puck into the opponent's goal using sticks. So each team consists of six players, which is further broken down into five outfield players and one goalkeeper, also known as a goaltender. The goal is pretty simple: you score more goals than the other team, and you win. What makes ice hockey more unique is its speed and flow. So there's almost no stoppage. Players rotate constantly, and physical contact is in fact encouraged over here. And possession changes sometimes in the matter of 1 second. Now, if you were to make a comparison with another sport, while football or soccer is about space, ice hockey is about timing and chaos. Now, let's go into a brief history of ice hockey. So, ice hockey originated in Canada in the late 19th century, evolving from a stick and ball game played on frozen lake. It made its Olympic debut, funnily enough, in the 1920 Summer Olympics, way before the Winter Games had existed even as a concept. Now, since then, Canada, as we all know, dominated the early editions. But after a while, the European nations started becoming better, and they reshaped the tactics and structure. So you had nations like the Soviet Union, Scandinavian nations like Sweden and Finland, becoming one of the elite nations as a result. And today's game, the game which you see in front of us, it blends North American physicality with European discipline. Now, let's not forget about the women's event, by the way. It entered the Winter Olympics much later in 1998. But since it has become one of the most competitive women's team sports on the program. Now, let's talk about the basic rules or format of the game. So, every game is played for 60 minutes, and 60 minutes is broken down into three periods of 20 minutes each. And the clock stops when the play stops. Wherein the actual duration of the match is much longer than 60 minutes. Now, substitutions, there are unlimited substitutions, and it basically works on the principle of rolling substitutions. And players change on the fly every 30 to 60 seconds. This keeps the intensity pretty high. Now, one interesting fact is whenever a player commits a foul, they get to sit in the penalty box, leaving their team short-handed. And this allows the opposition the chance at a power play. Now, this is where a lot of Olympic goals are scored, wherein it is a distinct numbers advantage at that stage. Now, in the case of ties, once the game finishes in a tie, the knockout games go to overtime of 5 minutes. And even if the game still stays even after that, it goes into a shootout wherein the outfield player goes one-on-one with the goaltender. Now let's go into some fun, obscure facts about ice hockey. So the puck which is used is frozen before games to reduce the puck bouncing on the ice. Shots sometimes exceed over 160 kilometers per hour, and goalkeepers or goaltenders wear equipment which sometimes weighs over 20 kilos. And Olympic rings are often larger than your traditional NHL rings, meaning there's more space, more passing, and slightly less constant physical play. Ice hockey at the 2026 Winter Olympics will be staged in Milan and not in the mountain regions, and it will be played at the Santa Giulia Ice Hockey Arena, a brand new purpose-built arena. So it's been designed specifically for the purpose of Olympic ice hockey and future elite events. This is unlike past games wherein this particular arena is built for long-term legacy, allowing for better ice quality, better sightlines, and of course, elite broadcast conditions. Now, when we're talking about ice hockey, the elite of the elite is of course Canada. It dominates ice hockey at the global level. So let's not forget their traditional rivals in the USA in that case. And there are the countries primarily from Scandinavia like Finland and Sweden, and even Czech Republic and Germany are the dark horses in the event. Whereas in the women's event, it's of course Canada and USA who are the traditional heavyweights, and we see nations like Switzerland trying to keep up with the top two in that case. Now, there is a special twist to this particular edition of the ice hockey at the Winter Olympics, and it's that it sees the return of NHL players and in turn NWHL players after a period of 12 years. They last appeared in the Winter Olympics in 2014. So you can expect the likes of Connor McDavid, Nathan McKinnon, and so on and so forth taking part in the Winter Olympics after a long, long time. Now, as we know, ice hockey is a very unpredictable sport, and it often relies on which team has a better goaltender or goaltender which is on fire at that time. So even though Canada and USA will be the top dogs in either event, you can never underestimate the smaller nations. And that's what makes ice hockey as a sport, right? It's always ruthless, there's no margin for error, and no time to settle, and there are no easy games. And yeah, I think that's all there is to know about ice hockey. Now, when the puck drops in Milano-Cortina, you won't just be watching, you'll also maybe understand what it is from the small video which we've put together. Thank you, and stay tuned for another video. And please drop a like and subscribe.